Hi everyone, I'm Allie with PotomacBeads. Join me in making this Crossroad component piece, which was designed actually by Nathan using BeadApp. Keep in mind if you want to, you can do this as a set of earrings, a bracelet, a necklace, or have fun with the components any which way you like. Gather up your materials, which were just listed, or there are links below me, and we'll get started. So I wanted to begin by showing the BeadApp design that Nathan created during one of our Facebook Lives using BeadApp to pull all the different beads down and have them categorized and kind of move everything around. He was able to line up all the holes with the holes that are there and design based on this app without actually even knowing really how to bead, since what he does is more of the technical side of everything. So this is the BeadApp design that I've changed just a tiny little bit, but really just ever so slightly to change up from some demi rounds to some 15-0 seed beads. So we're gonna go ahead, gather up your materials and get started. So to begin, I have my piles of my beads. I have my crescents, and they are in the opaque purple bronze. I have my DiamonDuos, and it's kind of a fun color. It's the crystal bronze capri. I have my EVA bead in the metallic violet, my 1.5 by 2 millimeter crystal rondelle in light tanzanite, and my 15-0 seed bead in the crystal lab full. Again, you can use the demi rounds in the 11-0 if you want as well, but we're gonna go in with our size 10 needle and some green Wildfire beading thread. And I'm going to begin with the center row. All the EVA beads are going to face in towards one another. And we're gonna put the crescents in between. As we come out, we're also going to add our DiamonDuos. So we're creating each component in a actual kind of round. To begin, I'll go ahead and I'm holding the end of my thread. I'm gonna go through my first EVA bead. I'm going through the EVA from the point towards the opening, grabbing my first DiamonDuo. The DiamonDuos are two-sided, so you'll want to make sure as you do this design that all the DiamonDuos after the first one are facing in the same direction. Coming out the DiamonDuo, go ahead and put 2 of your 15-0s onto your needle, 1 of your crystals, and 2 more 15-0s. If you don't want quite that much bling, you can also use an 8-0 seed bead in place of the crystal. Come down the EVA bead, so that way your thread is coming back down towards that point. And that's going to decorate the end of the DiamonDuo with that little crystal there and have it sitting out nice and tight. From here, you can pick up one of your crescents. The crescents, like the DiamonDuos, facing up. The crescent is going to face up. So the arch is up. We're going to go through that first hole of the crescent when it's facing up on the left-hand side. Coming out then, we're going to repeat this 4 times. So again, you have your EVA bead, then your DiamonDuo, again facing up. Coming out of that DiamonDuo, repeat that seed bead crystal collection, 2, 1, 2. Go back down through the EVA with the DiamonDuo. And then go ahead and put on your next crescent, facing with the arch up through the left-hand hole. 2 more times of this, and then we'll be able to tie our thread into a loop and create that first diamond component. After you get your last EVA bead on, you're going to make sure to put on your last of your crescents. As you put on the last crescent, drop that down. Take any extra thread that you may see and make sure to kind of pull it down so you do not see any extra. And we're going to tie these 2 thread ends together. The crescents themselves will not kind of cooperate and sit the way that you want them to until we go around here and do this outer row. While we're in the interior, you can choose whether or not you want to do this. I thought it would look nice with a little bit of extra bling, so you can keep it open if you want to, or you can follow my lead, putting in a Monty. There's a couple different sizes that you could use. I'm going to be using the SS20 in the crystal AB to bring in some of that silver and just brighten up that middle of the actual space. So after the knot, I want you to go ahead and put on 1 15-0, your Monty, and another 15-0. You're going to take this and notice that the Monties kind of have a cross section back. You can also use a plain bead if you want. You just won't go on the diagonal, you'll go kind of straight. You're going to go from one side of this EVA bead here to the EVA across to the opposite side. Go ahead and sew through the EVA on the opposite side, which means you're also going to sew through that DiamonDuo without getting your thread all knotted. And that's going to pull that Monty kind of right along the top. Now the Monty will flip until we go through and get the second hole of the Monty situated down. Coming out then, I want you to go back through the whole seed beads here up along the edge. And then when you get down through the other side of the EVA bead, we're going to add another 15. Go through the Monty and go to the opposite corner of the next EVA bead. So 15, go through the Monty. Make sure that it's sitting correctly and not catching on to anywhere on the Monty. So see how this kind of caught onto one of those little prongs. Make sure to release that. Get it just right there. Go ahead, add another 15, and then go through the EVA bead that your thread was originally coming out of when you started to add the Monty. Make sure again those seed beads kind of cooperate and drop right in there. If it's twisted, just untwist it a little bit and it should fit perfectly right in the middle. From here, I'm going to go through my 15-0 and my crystal, and then we're going to get ready to connect to the second hole of all of the crescent beads and all of the crystals on the outer edge, connecting from that crystal over to the actual crescent bead. So I already did the actual other 3 sides here, but coming out that crystal, just like you've been doing, you're going down through the 2 15s along the side. When you're coming out here, whether or not you're using the demi rounds or the crystals, the count's the same. You're just going to go 1 1 1. So you're doing 1 15, 1 crystal, 1 15 into the crescent. And when you come out of the crescent, you repeat 1 15, 1 crystal, 1 15, and then again go into those 15s, down the crystal and down the 15s. When you get finished, like I am here with that 4th side, what you're going to want to do is come out through the crystal. This is going to give us the opportunity to catch on and make our next component, which is going to get added on to the design. To add on to the design, we are going to be adding 2 15s onto our needle. And then we're going to be coming down through one of our DiamonDuos. We're going to come through the DiamonDuo through what's basically the left-hand hole as it's facing up there, from the top to the bottom, or if you want to face it so it's facing vertical, you're going to think that you're going through the bottom hole. That way you make sure that the DiamonDuo is going to sit with the correct side facing up. Coming out here, you're going to come down basically from the EVA this time, from the interior of the EVA to the point. This is going to get our connection there. Now what we're going to do is continue the whole way around, adding in our design, again adding in our crescent. Then when you add in your crescent and making sure that you're going through the correct hole of the crescent, then you're going to add your next of your EVA beads, going up through. And if you need to, again, just kind of sit your design down to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Everything's facing correct. You're going to add your next DiamonDuo into the design, add your seed beads, and go the whole way around. So I'm going to go the whole way around, adding in again that collection of 4 EVAs with the DiamonDuos and the seed beads. And then as we get back to center, I'll show you how we link those together. As you get the design in here and you're coming up through the last of your DiamonDuo, you're going to kind of hold on to everything here, pull the extra thread there, making sure it's not going around any beads. Make sure just before you get started and finished here that all of your crescents are facing in the correct direction, that all of your EVAs are facing in the correct direction as well. Coming out the last of that DiamonDuo, go ahead and put 2 15s onto your needle and let those fall down next to the design. Coming back to that connection point, what I want you to do is take your needle and thread and go through that original crystal that our thread was coming out of. Go ahead then and pull that out. And that is our connection point. Now for this second one, it's up to you whether or not you want to sew back in and do the DiamonDuo, or sorry, do the Monty right away, or if you want to go around the outer edge. Since I'm already on the outer edge, I'm going to go ahead and go into the outer edge and finish up. Again, going back through those 2 15s right along the edge there, adding a 15 crystal 15 the whole way along the exterior and catching on to the second hole of the crescent bead. As you come through an end then, it'll give you one more opportunity to kind of go through that seed bead again, tighten it up, and then we'll get ready from there to add in our Monty to the middle. And then we just continue the design as we go, adding and building more of our components. So as you go in to create the next section with the Monty in, I went through the crystal, went through the 2 15-0s, down through the DiamonDuo, and I'm coming out through the EVA bead. As I come out through the EVA bead, it's time to add my next of my Montys into place. So I get my Monty out here. And remember, before the Monty, we're going to add a 15-0 seed bead. Then we're going to add our Monty. Then our 15-0 seed bead. Because of the cross section of the Monty and the way that it sits, we're going to go to the opposite corner of the EVA that sits across from it and sew up into that EVA bead. At the same time, if you want to go through the DiamonDuo, through any of the seed beads, and out. Making sure they kind of sit in there and that it sits up correctly. Go down through the crystal and the seed beads on the left-hand side here. Just through 2 of those crystals. So remember, the third one was kind of linking the side. We didn't have that originally when we added the Monty. Go down through the DiamonDuo and the EVA bead and out. Once you're down through those, we're going to catch on to the next hole of our Monty, adding in a 15, grabbing the Monty, making sure that it's sitting up on top, go through that other hole of the Monty, come on out, add another 15, and go up through that opposite hole of the Monty. From here, we're then just going to take our thread and needle and get to that last kind of point, or that last little crystal there, so that way we can add on and add the next bead on. I'm just going to sew around the exterior till I get to the crystal and continue adding on all of my little components. So if you want to do this design as components, as a bracelet, you'll just keep going, probably using about 4 or 5 to 6 of the components depending on your wrist size. I would need 5, you may need 6. If you want to do it as a necklace, because it's really simple, what you're going to do is come out at the connection point having 2 on the diamond and 1 on the square. So instead of adding here at this component section here with the last crystal, I'm going to add right here at the top, so that way I make my nice kind of V with my 5 beads. So you're just going to take your thread and needle to the corner that's next to the actual piece that's already completed. And as you get around then to that left-hand corner, repeat again. What that's going to do is create your nice V design and get the actual piece to have that centerpiece of a necklace look. Once you decide if you're making a necklace or a bracelet or even just a simple set of earrings, keeping the holes open in the middle or adding the Montys, you can decide exactly how many component pieces you want to do. The necklace here, which I said comes off the side, features 5 component pieces, which is going to be 20 of those EVA beads, which comes in the pack size. To connect the ends, all I did was, coming out of the crystal, instead of adding another component, added in 2 15-0 seed beads, a wire guard, a chain, and then back down the wire guard and 2 15-0s, knotting along the back of the project and burning down the thread. Thanks so much for watching this Crossroads piece. Remember, as the component, you can do it as bracelet, you can do it as a set of earrings, you can do it as a necklace and have that V drop down something from the middle even if you want. The versatility of this little component is kind of endless. As always, if you need any of the materials, you can go below the video in the description, those 3 little drop downs if you're on an iPad, and click the links to purchase from us at PotomacBeads.com as well as PotomacBeads.eu. Also with this YouTube channel, we're always happy if you give a little thumbs up if you like the video. Comment below telling exactly what you're going to do for colors, component pieces, or how you've changed up the design, as well as subscribe to this YouTube channel for regular updates from us at Potomac Beads. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, enjoy beading and enjoy making your own component piece.